Hello, Potter Than Hellions. Welcome. Damn, wrong podcast. Hey, this is Steve from the Potter Than Hell podcast. Welcome to the show. This is the Shout It Out Loudcast. But before we get going, I want to ask my guy something. BC, are you feeling low with no place to go?
Yeah, and I'm thinking I'm going to scream.
Hey, BB, do you recall Days in the City?
Yeah, and I think back, oh, what a pity.
And hey, Dylan, do you feel uptight on a Saturday night?
Yeah, man, my heater's broke and I am so tired.
Well, I'm going to throw another log on the fireplace and listen to the Shout It Out Loudcast. Oh, yeah.
Steve, stand by my side, and I'll be next to you.
Oh, God. Shut the fuck up, BC.
Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast. Episode 93. Real KISS Alive VII. Tom, we haven't done 7 of these. We just started at 3. Now we're up to 7.
Correct. We haven't done one of these in a long time. Yeah. These are always a good time for sure. KISS Alive VII.
Yes.
Ooh, that means there's only
one.
I was just gonna say there's only one left.
That's right. That's right.
We'll get into those details as we talk about what exactly KISS Alive VII means.
And how's it going over there in New Hampshire?
Wonderful. Oh, it's fall. It's beautiful. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you? What about you, Booger?
I've been combing the high schools all day. Excited for the debate that didn't happen, and we're going to miss a couple of town halls tonight, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's okay. That's what Twitter is for.
Trump, the con man, and sleepy Joe Biden.
Sleepy Joe Biden.
Trump runs his presidency like we were in college, with nicknames for everybody.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, Pandemic Paul.
That's pretty much it. If Trump had a podcast, it'd be like, oh yeah, okay there, Sleepy Joe Biden.
Okay, germaphobe Gene.
Exactly. Settle down.
Third, why aren't you wearing your mask? Oh, okay, Pandemic Paul.
Oh, we'll get to him tonight like we do every week.
Pandemic Paul. He's so handsome these days. Anyway,
showing off his guns.
Yeah, sun's out, guns out with Paul. What's going on over in last week's episode? We got to do our feedback, right?
Yeah, we got our last week's episode. We had our buddy Sonny, who celebrated a birthday this week. Happy birthday to our friend Sonny Hollywood.
Yes. So last year, I think he went to Vegas. He had his big 50th birthday party. Yep. This year, he brought us all Corona. Yep. Thanks, Sonny.
Exactly. So, yeah, last week we talked about the passing of Eddie Van Halen. We kind of gave a tribute to him. We talked about the connections with KISS, Gene Simmons, the demos, which we couldn't play.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. And so the poll episode, the episode poll.
Now I'm fucking you up.
Yeah, we're not even drinking. I'm drinking vitamin water. Zeus is drinking regular water.
I'm drinking Mountain Dew in a fucking bottled water here.
Maybe it's those Bud Light pajama pants that's fucking you up right now.
Bud Light pajama pants. I love these things.
So the poll. So he said, just for fun, would you have wanted Eddie Van Halen to replace Ace when he left the band? And thankfully, 72% of you said no, which is the right answer. It's the right answer for multiple reasons. First of which, if Eddie Van Halen leaves Van Halen, then you miss out on half their career. So 72% said no. So a couple poll comments on this. Our buddy Jack Broad said, no, he's way too good to be in KISS. Okay. JR said Pandemic Paul and Germaphobe Gene would have tried to squash Eddie's creativity. Yeah. Our buddy Steve says Gene and especially Paul would have reined him in and stifled his playing. They wouldn't have let him be creative. Imagine if they have let Vinny be as batshit crazy as he was on the Vinnie Vincent Invasion album. Okay. And then Richie Rich said with a laughing emoji, does anyone think Ed was serious when he mentioned joining KISS? Who knows? It's always Gene's version of the story that we hear. Chris Bishop says, no, God, no. So, yeah, I mean, it was just for fun because there was that story about how he talked to Gene. Oh, Roth is killing me. I got to get out of the band. But yeah, you don't want Eddie leaving Van Halen to join Kiss. But,
so what I want to say is by 82, 80, whatever.
Yep.
He's not fucking doing Eruption.
Right.
By 82, he's saying, I've got a great song. Yeah, but that's a keyboard riff. He's like, yeah, it's a great song. He's doing Feels So Good. He's doing When It's Love.
Not in 82.
No, but that's what's coming down the line for him.
Oh, yeah,
Top of the World. He's doing songs that are beautiful tunes.
Right.
They're not what you would call rocking guitar tunes. So when people are talking about Eddie Van Halen, David Lee Roth pre-84 maybe, but after that, Eddie was about the songs. If he could put in a fucking crazy solo in, he would do it, but he would have to add to the song. So could he fit in with Kiss? I don't know. I think he might have been able to at that point.
Because 82, they released Diver Down came out in 82, which is fucking unbelievably underrated album. People give it a beating because of all the covers that are on there, but that album's great. And then you had Van Halen.
One of my favorite songs on there. Where have all the guitars? That's fucking unbelievable. I love that song, and that's a cover. I don't give a shit. They do a fucking unreal job on it.
I love Diver Down. So they did that. They did that in 82, and then 1984 was 1984. So you're right. That was when Eddie started kind of maturing a little bit more as a performer and a songwriter. But
yeah, but you see, remember we were talking about how Dean was like, he says, "Oh, listen to this. That's a synthesizer." That's right. Like, I mean, like he's gone to the point where he's about music and what's a good song. He doesn't give a fuck that he's the greatest guitar player. He limited himself to the song. He'd rather play a good song than be the insane guitar hero that he was known for. And so could he do that with Kiss? I think so. Good friend of the show and Pantheon podcast, I think digital marketing friend, Daryl Albert sent us a nice little clip, and it was about Eddie Van Halen doing, I think it was Eruption, and then all of a sudden it transfers into War Machine.
Yep.
And we should post that for you guys to see it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think we've done that yet, but we should put it up. And could Eddie have pulled off that riff? Hell yeah. That would have sounded fucking insane. But don't you think with it Eddie doing that? Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I mean, I selfishly, I say, I don't say no because he wouldn't have fit in Kiss. I say no because I want more Van Halen music. That's why I don't want him to leave.
I understand that. And the other part to this is, let's be blunt, Paul Stanley at that point, if he brought another member in, every other member that came into Kiss is a, paid contributor. They're not equal shares. Eddie Van Halen would never have joined Kiss if he's not an equal share. He's not going to bring his talent in to be a paid player like Tommy Thayer or Eric Singer. He's going to be like, I want 1/4 of this fucking money because he'd be worth it and then some. So he'd have to be an equal share. Are they going to give him that when they could just get a fucking Bruce or Eric Singer or guys like that can do a good job and they just pay the money?
Yeah, and he's not going to leave his brother either.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was it just was never going to happen. That's why the poll question was for fun. But anytime we do stuff like that, it stirs up some cool discussion because everybody's a fan of Kiss and Van Halen. So
yeah,
that was Twitter. That was the Twitter poll with some poll comments, and then you were going to take it from there with some Twitter feedback.
Yeah, Deuce. After passing out 90 minutes into the show, thanks. Just listen to episode again. Great tribute to Eve H. The best line goes to Zeus. He's dead on. With you could play Van Halen for the boys and you could play them for the girls. Exactly. We all loved Van Halen. Mm-hmm. Murph, great to hear all the nuggets of info the three of you presented during the episode. Also, Zeus's New York Paul impersonation sounds more like Vinnie Barbarino than Paul.
Nice.
Thanks, Murph. Oh, Deuce added, looking forward to Zeus saying, "You're so handsome." Every time you guys talk, I said it earlier without even realizing that was coming up. He is. He's so handsome, like little Nicky.
So handsome.
Don't be afraid to show your face. You're such a handsome boy.
He looks like little Nicky. JR, EBH played with a grin. I always thought that grin was him saying, I can, you can't. And I'm having more fun than you doing it. Germaphobe Gene tweeting every story that had his face and name attached to Eddie's passing. Seems he was grifting for attention, like when Aretha passed.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention when Aretha died and what Gene was saying.
Nah, I didn't know that either.
Steve, no episode is a real one without Pandemic Paul, the gift that keeps on giving. Always has me in hysterics thinking about him bunny hopping on his bike. He thinks he's above his station and more important than he is. Well said, Steve. I bet it's fucking killing him. Gene was on TV being asked about Eddie Van Halen.
No doubt.
I fucking 100% agree with you, Steve.
Yep.
Absolutely. Smoke Show 19. I think we have an alert going off.
That's the Sunny Pooney burner account alert button. That's a new feature on Shout It Out Loudcast. You know how we have there's like the emergency alert system. We have the Sunny Pooney burner account alert system.
The alleged Sunny Pooney burner account. I think on the text exchange, somebody said, I think, screenshot something this guy said and said, okay, this is definitely Pooney. I think it was like Tony. Dude,
yeah, because
it was Tony was solemn from restraint. He was like the nicest guy. He's like, hey, Sonny, did you post this?
Well, no, because I think it was something tweeted out by Smoke, sheeted by Sonny. And the tweet was like complimentary of Sonny. It was something like that. So the numbers plus, I really think we uncover the conspiracy because they don't know the word smoke show on the West Coast. They got that.
Not because we say that because they'll text us a photo of somebody and we're like, oh, what a smoke show. They're like, what the fuck is that?
Yep.
Like, you guys don't say smoke show? Like, you know, they'll be a picture of Brittany and Tom. Oh, smoke show, this and that. Yep. Or a picture of Estelle Getty. And I'll be like, oh, that's a smoke show.
And now all of a sudden, Pooney's trying to cover his track. Smoke show is his Twitter account.
Wasn't she also in the worst idea of a movie of all time? Stop! Or my mom will
shoot. Dude, that is on Sylvester Stallone's roster of movies. Stop, or my mom will shoot.
Who is the marketing guy? Go, I got a movie for you. Oh,
hey, you know that guy who's in those Rambo movies? That guy that's in those Rocky movies? Let's pair him up with an old lady.
Well, she's very popular right now in the Golden Girls. So, of course.
Stop or my mom will shoot.
Anyway, Smoke Show Sonny 19 said, Edward is a legend. Rest in peace. Excellent tribute. Thanks, Sonny. Joel Hoffman. Excellent show today, guys. Van Halen has literally been the soundtrack of my life since I saw my sister's VH2 album. Put it on the turntable, and I was immediately hooked. Years of memory listening to VH has been with me since I was 10. This one really hurts. VH music lives forever. Sorry, Joel. Yep, it's the story of a lot of people right now. Van Halen, other than fat fucking crackhead David
Crosby,
fat fucking mustachioed David Crosby in this Sonny Pooney meh comment got all sorts of backlash after he put that meh comment about Eddie Van Halen. He actually backtracked and put a post up recently that apologized.
Yeah, did you hear what he said? He goes, "Oh, I didn't." He goes, "When I tweeted that out, I didn't realize that Eddie had died."
No, he goes, "I forgot that he had died, dude.
Yeah,
it just happened yesterday."
Right? Like, come on, dude.
Like,
by the way,
drugs.
By the way, I don't understand who. Like, seriously, who fucking cares what David Crosby? Like, okay, yeah, he said meh. Like, people like legitimately were upset. Like, who fucking cares?
Disrespectful, buddy. Have some class. It's
dude, when was the last time David Crosby was in the fucking headlines? Dude, you're a has-been. No one cares about you.
Let me explain something to you. I don't like Marilyn Manson. I think his music is horrible. I think he's fucking horrible. If he died, I'm not going to write people putting tributes out to him, right? Meh. Like, you don't, because other people are sad or upset or out of respect. That's the problem.
I get that, but
annoyed, like, dude, have some class. It's just a coarsening of the culture. Like,
I agree, but I'm also of the mind of social media is filled with hundreds of millions of people. Dude, you're a fucking idiot. You just expose yourself. That's your punishment for being an idiot. But anyways,
okay,
go ahead.
Mustachioed David Crosby, and again,
Wilfred Brimley wannabe, rest in peace.
Yeah, you're up. What do we got on Facebook, brother?
Facebook, our buddy Jepson. Kevin, as always, love it, guys. So I've been playing guitar for 31 years now, and Eddie Van Halen has been such an amazing influence on me. I am devastated, especially because that's how my mom passed. Sorry to hear that, Kevin. He said, sorry, not trying to bring it down. I've seen Van Halen twice, once with the Sharon lineup and once in 2013 with Dave. The only show they played that year, amazing. Eddie was bleeding during the solo. And then he actually posts a YouTube video of Eddie. Wow. Thanks, Kevin. I'm sorry for your loss. I know that's a huge loss, especially somebody like you that's been playing guitar that long and looking up to him as an influence and an inspiration.
He's been playing guitar for 31 years.
Yep.
Holy fuck.
Yep. We might have to have Kevin Jepson maybe pull like a Tony Musalam and do some kind of little riff for us for Shout It Out Loudcast. You know,
I hope he can play something. He's not going to come out and go, yeah, I've been playing 31 years. Want to hear me play? Alrighty then.
Then we got Graham Richley. Fantastic episode, informative and fun while paying respect to the great Eddie Van Halen. I love Eddie, who doesn't, and Van Halen music, but I'm thankful Eddie never joined KISS as his style is so distinctive. I believe the two bands are stronger apart rather than together. Rest in peace, Eddie. Quote of the day was Zeus talking about people collecting numerous vinyl copies of the same album. Today, I feel like listening to Orange. Great work, guys.
We were talking about that earlier because Alice in Chains got a new box set coming out of vinyl for facelift. $150. You're like, hey, you buying that? You buying? I'm like, why am I spending $150 on fucking music that I already have?
Well,
because I want something that's purple in my collection.
Dude, that box set is absurd for that. It comes with a fucking cassette. A cassette.
Don't laugh. My daughter has a fucking Walkman. Her mom bought her a Walkman and cassettes, and she enjoys playing them like it's like a retro thing. A cassette. She has cassettes. She just recently bought a new pop artist. I'm like, what the fuck is this world coming to?
Who's behind this? Fucking Stewart Trunk? Who's behind fucking cassettes?
Yes.
Holy shit. Don't tell Gene Simmons. Re-released and remastered on cassette. Oh God.
Yep.
Please. It's coming. The KISS cassette set box set is coming. Great.
Oh, I'll buy it. I had them all. I remember the day I went into CDs and I had so many CDs that I finally looked at my cassettes and I threw them all in the trash.
Dude, I used to have one of those briefcases.
Yes.
Remember? And you put all the
cassettes of them that you would put up in pictures, like on the wall, and hang up all the cassette racks. Yes. Oh my God, I had all of them, and I was like, fucking KISS. They don't keep it the same colors. They fucking change them, and I didn't like it because they would have a few in a row, and then all of a sudden you'd be like, fucking something would be purple. And I'll never forget when I really got back into KISS the first time, and I was still in like middle school, and I got Creatures of the Night, and Bruce is on the cover. I'm like, I thought this was makeup. Oh, I don't know. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute. Bruce didn't play. Vinnie Vincent played on it. I'm like, this says Ace Frehley. This is pre-Google and other KISS fans. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
Threw me off big time.
No, I know.
And then when I found Creatures of the Night, I found a cassette with the original Creatures of the Night cover.
Wow.
And I fucking chucked that.
What?
I chucked all my cassettes like an idiot.
Yeah, I did. I know. I'm saying what. Meanwhile, I have all of my CDs are in boxes in the basement. like I still have them all, and it's like so overwhelming. I'm like, oh, I could take all these, and I'm like, meanwhile, I'm like, fuck it. I got Apple Music. They're all here digitally.
Yeah, and I
have all my CDs.
I'm moving at the end of the month.
Oh God.
And so my daughter, I'm putting the stuff away. She looks at my DVDs, like 1,000 DVDs and 1,000 CDs. She's like, why are you taking these? I never see you touch them. I'm like,
Collector.
Don't touch my toys. Like,
Right.
I'm
mean,
not
it's-
changing. That's it. I went
That's
from
fine.
albums to cassettes and to CDs. I'm not changing format. Fuck it. CDs are here to stay.
My mission is for a housewarming gift to get you a turntable and get you into vinyl. That's going to be my.
I don't need that. I don't need that expense. As I told you guys, why don't you just tell me to fucking pick up smoking? Pick up another bad vice. I don't.
And then I say because vinyl can't kill you.
It will if I fucking spend all my money on it. I have nothing to eat because all my money's going on vinyl.
Like I just did because Amazon Prime had their Prime days, but they had like ridiculous sales on vinyl, and I was like, I can't. It was like I was like a crackhead. I couldn't stop buying stuff. It was fucking awful.
Would you buy Fat Larry's band's greatest hits?
I bought fucking Weird Al Yankovic's greatest hits.
My baloney. What'd you buy?
Ooh, Amish Paradise.
Or I'm fat. Yo, man,
ain't fat,
man,
you ain't
dog.
nothing.
Oh, man, big dog.
Oh man, you ain't fat. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. Your butt is mine. Fat.
Anyways, so let's move this along because we got to. These episodes tend to get a little bit long. So let's move over to what's going on in Kiss World.
All right. So not too much as always, of course, nothing's really happening other than kind of gossipy kind of shit. This week though, we did celebrate the anniversary of the all-time greatest live album in the history of recorded music, Kiss Alive VII.
I didn't say that. Tom said that.
Oh, I know. But no, it was the anniversary of that. So everybody's posting pictures and articles about how they fell in love with one of their first live albums, one of their first Kiss albums. So that was great. And then our buddy, the Muppet, is in the news again.
I think I'm the best guitarist, but the next best guitarist in Kiss, I would say, has to be Bruce Kulick. He blows away everybody else. Like, Tommy just mimics me in all my performances, but Bruce is, he new album. He's on my new album, Bruce Kulick, and he's a good player. Bruce Kulick is a good guitar player. Tommy copies me.
Pretty much, yeah, because in Blabbermouth, the headline, Ace Frehley says, Bruce Kulick blows Tommy Thayer off the stage. Okay. So, of course, Ace says, a lot of people think I might not be friends with Bruce Kulick. I've been friends with Bruce for 20 years. Of all the guitar players that have taken my place in Kiss, Bruce by far blows them all away as far as I'm concerned. He's definitely the best guitar player. When Tommy Thayer gets up there and does my solos, he tries to play him note for note, but he doesn't have the swagger or the attitude. Bruce used to play my solos, but it'd kind of make him his own, and it'd switch notes a little and had some originality. Tommy is just going through the motions. Bruce by far blows Tommy off the stage. It is what it is. Now, full disclosure, I kind of agree with Ace a little bit. I'm sorry. Tommy Thayer is absolutely fantastic. I love it. We said it. The one bright spot on the Monster album was Tommy. But when it comes to doing, I think he is instructed to just mirror note for note. And that's a gift to be able to do that. Bruce has way more passion and swagger and groove than Tommy. I mean, I've said that before. That being said, shut up, Ace. Don't shit on the fucking current guy in the band. Don't do that.
Yeah, so I would say this. He's his own worst enemy. He doesn't.
Absolutely.
He needs his own publicist or his real agent to say, shut the fuck up.
Yep.
There's no bad tension with you and Kiss. You started a good example by getting rid of your ex and all the baggage she brought with them. Why do you do this? Tommy's their man. Even if you come back to part of the comeback show or a gig, Kiss will still perform at some point after the end of the road. They'll still do shit. They won't do it with you or Peter, but they'll still have Tommy. Why would they want you to keep shitting on him? It's bad business, you fucking Muppet. Cut the shit. Stop trying to divide people. It's that fucking Stewart putting shit in his ear all the time. Every time he has something to do with Stewart, he comes out of it either in that meeting or when he leaves, starts yapping about how he's the best and he should be the dude. Shut up. You cannot perform at the level you used to perform in. Okay. You sound like you're fucking brain dead when you speak. They don't trust you to perform. They don't trust you in front of a microphone. They don't trust you for a press conference. They don't trust you to show up. Shut the fuck up. I haven't fucking drank and I'm the type of guy I'm the guy now that they wish I was when I was in the band before. Dude, you sound fucking sloshed off your mind. Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Imagine if you were fucking as fucked up as you used to be. Come on, man. Just shut up. And maybe there's a possibility of you returning, but you won't and you can't because you, the Muppet, and all the fucking little fucking Muppet fans that are out there, they're like, Ace is the best. Yeah, fucking, yeah, Ace, really fake Ace. Like, fucking ruin it for the rest of us.
I don't understand what his friggin' end game is here. You want to? How do you think? Like you said, how do you think you're going to get back into the band or jump in on this end of the road? Maybe final show reunion when you're shitting on the current band member. In what context did you think that was an appropriate conversation to have? You're praising Bruce Kulick. That's great. You could have said that. You could have praised Bruce Kulick and said, "I love Bruce when he does my solos. They're great." But then you had to come in and you had to pile on to Tommy and not only pile on, but really insult him. Really insult him. Like from one guitarist to another. The worst thing you can say is that you have no originality, that you're copying. Like that's just fucking brutal. And like you said with his,
if he was copying you, then he wouldn't show up to the fucking things on time. He'd demand more money. He'd throw up on the fucking guitar tech and he'd fucking crash his car like at 100 miles an hour like a fucking idiot. If he was copying you.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong too. Didn't Tommy Thayer have to fucking help Ace when they fucking got back together on like some on some
remember shit?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you talk about coming full circle. Just look, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into our favorite fucking KISS member in a second here. But this fucking pandemic is these people need to be in the spotlight, and because there's no live music to do it, you're hearing all kinds of shit from fucking Tommy Lee to fucking Dee Snider to fucking Corey Taylor from Slipknot and all these people opening up their mouth constantly so that people like Blabbermouth and Ultimate Classic Rock will plaster their so-and-so says this, so-and-so says that. That's the only way people are paying attention to them, and it's fucking driving me nuts, which leads me to our favorite character on this show, pandemic prescription political panelist, presidential politics, Paul. This fucking guy. Every week, he finds new ways to just excel at being a fucking idiot. I don't know where to go here. I got to catch my breath there for a minute. So we're going to go back a little bit on his Twitter. Post a picture of him in front of all these painted guitars. And our buddy Baco, we got to give him credit. He came up with the resting smelled a fart face because it always looks like somebody just shit their pants when Paul gets his picture taken. He's got that face like, dude, are you smiling or did somebody just soil themselves?
Okay. Can I tell you a story?
Please do.
Oh, let's get you just told us. Why do I always have all these stories? But okay. So many years ago, my cousin had a birthday party for his kid who was probably like 2-3 years old. This is one of the rich ones. He lives nearby here. Huge house, family's loaded. And they had a birthday party. So in his house, he has like a game room, like a fun room. It's mostly for his, they had like a pool table down there, all the toys for his kids. Yep. So the only ones that went down there is like all the little kids playing with toys and stuff and doing stuff. And then, of course, my dumbass is down there. And I grabbed this other guy who I ended up being the godfather of this kid. I would call him a friend, a family friend. And we're playing pool.
Here we go.
I tell me I'm gonna die. And they catered this event. You know, you have like birthday party catered stuff. Like there'll be like Italian catered food.
Yeah,
so there'll be trays.
Yep.
There'll be like fucking parm, pasta, chicken and broccoli with garlic, fucking pasta bolognese, fucking, like Italian pasta meals. Okay, that's heavy. That's heavy stuff. Veal cacciatore, fucking heavy stuff.
I know where this is going.
So we're downstairs playing pool. This is me and this tall guy. Now, this guy, I don't think you've ever met him, but his family, he's like off the boat from Greece.
Okay.
And I baptized his kid. I'm friends with him. He knows some English and stuff. And we're playing pool. And there's some little kids around us doing. We're the only adults down there. Oh, God. I let a fucking veal cacciatore SPD go. You know what you do? And then you stay quiet. And you're like wondering, when do they pick it up? He's like playing pool. He comes around the corner. All of a sudden he's like in Greek swears. He fucking throws his pool stick on the table. It's like, oh, what the fuck? Oh my God. He's like, God damn it. The fucking little kids start running away because he's screaming and because the fucking stench. Oh my God. I'm like,
you scared the kids away.
I'm like, dude, it's on me. I think it's the little girl. It was the little girl.
Blame the kid.
Oh, like 5 years old in like an Easter outfit. Oh. He's like, maybe she should. She's just standing there looking at us because we're screaming and dying. I'm dying laughing, looking at us like we're fucking like, what the fuck are they talking about? I'm like, maybe it's her. And she has that look, that Paul look right now. Like, what the fuck? Oh, shit. Smells like my baby brother's diaper. Dude, that base reeked. Within 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes later, my dad, my brother come down looking for me, like coming down.
No.
They just walked out. And my brother nonchalantly out loud goes, oh, man, what the fuck? Who shit themselves?
And I could picture, I could picture
like
Karen
20
doing
minutes
that.
later. Yeah, it was like 20 minutes later. Oh, what the fuck, man? Who shit themselves? This whole little kids. And the other guy's like, your fucking brother. Smell up the whole fucking basement. Fucking place smelled like a wet diaper for the next 2 hours.
Smelled like fucking pit salt with fucking lopes in the fucking doors.
Little girl had the Paul Stanley face. We were just like staring at us, and her nose was like, crunched up.
Yeah.
And with her eyes and her head tilted, like, what the fuck is that scent?
Oh God. So
yes.
So we're gonna keep going here. So I'm gonna talk about pull up Paul's Twitter account because I want you to pay.
I gotta catch my breath. I'm like dying laughing. I'm sorry. I'm fucking out of breath.
It's okay.
All right. So what am I looking up?
So at Paul's Twitter, you go back a couple days. He's got like a picture of him sitting in front of a table with all these painted guitars, like artwork. And he's like, so much happening here in the shed. So many projects to finish, but glad to be back. Easy to be overwhelmed by all the insanity going on right now, but give yourself a break and come back stronger. It ain't a crime to be good to yourself.
It ain't a crime to be good to yourself.
I just more out of touch. So many projects to finish. Easy to be overwhelmed by all the insanity going on. Give yourself a break. I'm going to give myself a break by going into my shed and paint my guitars while half of my listeners out there don't know how they're going to pay their fucking next mortgage bill. Meanwhile, so much happening here in the shed. Dude, my shed has a fucking weed whacker and a rake in it. Okay? Your shed has a KISS pinball machine and like fucking 17 painted guitars.
Yeah.
And
you
then
got rested fart face too, sitting in your chair.
Oh, and then we get into presidential politics, Paul Stanley. So we post this one thing going off a rail about fucking voter suppression. What a disgrace, a frightening sabotage of our foundation. Then the next tweet is, I voted today. Don't wait. Find a certified ballot box. It feels awesome to know your voice will be counted. Great, that's great. And he's got his sleeveless button-down shirt on with he thinks he's fucking Pipes McGee flexing. And it's just like, dude, you go from pandemic Paul to prescription Paul to politics Paul. I would give anything right now for him to stop this. And I would take Soul Station over this. I would take a Soul Station vault, like the Gene Simmons vault, if he would stop doing this, because I can't handle it. And we talked about this even with Sonny. He just needs to be productive. He needs to get his voice out there, and whatever the topic of the day is, he just has to do it. So now it's politics, it's voting. That's fine. Proud of you. It's a very important election. Everybody's passionate about it. But just, Paul, please do something musical. Put your passion into your music. Something. Stop.
He looks good. He looks like he's fucking doing curls.
He does look good.
The garage, shed, whatever he's got back here. He's got some KISS photos on the wall there in the background. Yep. I've been his guitar boxes to the right. His face looks nice. He's still got that hairdo that's just,
yeah.
But, you know, this doesn't frustrate me because he's on my side. And if he wasn't on my side, maybe I'd be more frustrated with him. But it's not him. This is all the stuff he used to bitch about.
Oh, I know.
You have time on your hands. You want to help the people that you supposedly love, you know, the fans. They don't want to see you in your shed painting guitars. They want you playing. If he said, you know, the happiest thing he would make the KISS family? You know what? All this extra time I've been talking to Gene, I think we might have a couple tunes left in us.
Why not do that?
Fuck, the whole KISS army would die. There's not much money in albums. Who gives a fuck? At this point, do you need to do it for money? Like, who cares? Fucking put something together.
Why isn't he sitting in front of real guitars? Like you said, like they've been at this for we're pushing 7 months now. 7 months. You like, I don't know. I know every week we go on this rant, but that's because it's the gift that keeps on giving. He always does something. Yeah. It's just whatever.
One last thing, Tom.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to hit on KISS News. So before I was on, before we got ready to sign on tonight to, obviously go over everything that we normally go over, I saw something online and you were talking about it. Good friend Rachel Gordon put out 2 hours ago. Alert on the cassettes on my website.
Oh, God.
They are all exclusive out of Ace's personal memorabilia.
What?
From pre-KISS and all through the KISS years to Freely Comment years. I have hundreds of cassettes. It has become far too tedious to go through every cassette and to find certain ones. I'm now selling the cassettes 5 and 10 at a time. They are all in very playable, good condition, and they all have content. I choose the cassettes as they are all worth a lot, as they were Ace's private collection. Without reading them, I'm selling them grab bag style. So when you purchase cassettes, you receive a fun surprise and could very well have a gold mine in your bundle. 5 cassettes sell for $2,000.
Shut up.
10 cassettes for $3,500. You can purchase the entire cassette collection for $50,000. If you're interested in purchasing over 15 cassettes, we can make a deal. Please let me know and have fun with it.
You've got to be kidding me.
Nope. So play grab bag, Tom, with $2,000, and maybe you can have a cassette of Ace talking about, I don't know, I just want cereal today to eat. What do you want to eat?
I want a fillet of fish. How about a fillet of fish? Eddie, Stuart, get me a fillet of fish. Dude, dude, that's fucking insane.
Who would spend $2,000 sitting on a gold mine? Dude, you could be sitting on what? Origins Volume 5? No one's giving you $2,000. The fucking record label wouldn't give you $2,000 worth of Ace Frehley music right
Dude,
now.
She could be sitting on $10 worth of shit right now.
I've got Ace's catalog from his drunk years. Who wants it? Do I have $2? Dude, $2,000 to $3,500 for 5 cassettes, $3,500 for 10.
Oh my God. That is embarrassing. That doesn't even make sense.
$50,000 for the whole lot.
That is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
On that note, Tom, when we talk about this show, we usually transfer it over and talk about people, doing some of that fucking. Apparently, Rachel wants to fuck some of her fucking listeners, and we're talking about that because we have a sponsor, and that sponsor likes fucking, and that's AdamandEve.com, Tom.
That's right. AdamandEve.com. It's actually AdamEve.com. But if you go to AdamandEve.com, it redirects you.
You'd think I would know that by now, but what the fuck do I know?
I know that because someone told me about it. Yeah, right. But yeah, we talk about it every week. Promo code Loudcast. You go on there, tons of free gifts get thrown into your order. You get those spicy movies we talk about every week. But check them out. We've been talking about them for a long time. Great company. And that promo code is going to throw in a ton of extra stuff for you and your partner, or just you if you're playing solo. Who knows? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You get some free stuff. You get some discounted stuff if you use the promo code Loudcast. Purchase something from AdamEve.com, and you'll find out if you're getting fucked or not. So,
bingo. That's a great way to put it.
So we are up to our Real KISS Alive VII. And this is a series that we've been doing that we started with the premise that KISS Alive I was the first 3 albums. KISS Alive II was the second 3 albums. Well, what if we followed that? And we started that with, right afterwards, we did the solo albums, I think Dynasty and whatever the else we did back then.
Side 4 of Alive 2.
Yeah, and then we went 3 albums along the way.
Yep.
So we had just finished KISS Alive VI, which was Asylum, Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits.
And Crazy Nights.
Yep. So KISS Alive VII is now going to be consisting of Hot in the Shade, Revenge, and Carnival of Souls. So the last 3 non-makeup albums. So it kind of works that way.
Mm-hmm.
And what this is basically is me and Tom think what a live album would be under the same premise of the original first 2 KISS Alive albums. If you take those 3 albums and you create like a 15-track album, Tom picks his 15 songs, I pick my 15 songs. And, we start, it gets a little bit fun. What's your opener? What's your closer? What songs make your cut? What songs don't? And, we just basically go through it and see what we can find. We have a lot of fun with these, and we hope that you'll enjoy, and we'll go through our list. Tom, anything you want to add?
Well, we talked about this before we started recording. We've actually talked about this a little bit, but when we came up with this idea, we both agree this was one of the more difficult ones to put together.
This is the hardest one that we've done.
I think it is. I think it is by far because, spoiler alert, I love all 3 of these albums. I like Carnival a little bit more than Zeus, but we'll save that for the album review. But you're talking about Hot in the Shade, which we love, Revenge, which we love, and then Carnival of Souls. And all 3 albums have a good amount of songs on them. So this one was very, very, very difficult. And when we put this together, we try to put it up, we try to put together like an opener, a closer, and then when they come back on for the encore, just set it up like an actual concert list. And, following the Alive rules, obviously no duplicates. Alive 2 had nothing from Alive 1, et cetera, et cetera. So this is just Hot in the Shade, Revenge, and Carnival of Souls.
Yeah, so they won't be closing with Rock and Roll Night, opening up with Deuce or Detroit Rock City. This is those 3 albums. Okay, That's the format. That's how we're doing it. Do you want to go first, or should I go first?
You can start. Go ahead. Kick it off.
Okay. My KISS Alive VII album, the live album, which you will be purchasing from me, from tomandzeus.com, will open with this. The opening track on Hot in the Shade, Rise to It. I just think it's, there's just something in your brain when you think of opening a concert, you think of an opening track from an album. It goes with it. Start hearing a little acoustic guitars, the lights go down, and you're like, oh shit, here he comes. And then boom, and then they start going off. And it reminds me of the video where the band is like jumping up and down and going nuts, and the crowd's getting into it, and it's them without the makeup on. I think it would fit as a nice opening crowd into it kind of song. It was a video. And so when we're into this era, and we talked about it on the previous one, like singles, Kiss isn't big singles, but videos and things like that. If they were a video or a single, I have to put it in the set list amongst these songs. I just have to do it. So to me, this was a no-brainer, and I think it, had a couple other options here in the beginning, but I went with Rise to It to start my set list.
Great opener. That almost was my opener. Spoiler alert. Great opener. And like you said, the video it has that aura of a good opener. I went with something a little bit different. So here we go. The curtain there. You get that menacing crunch of the guitar, and then all of a sudden that riff of Unholy kicks in, and when the drums pound, that's when the curtain drops, kind of like Deuce. So it got Unholy as my opener there. I figured set the mood, get everybody really fired up, give Gene the mic to kick it off with, and it's my favorite non-makeup song, so I figured let's start it off with a bang.
Yeah, I mean, that was a thought for me too, but the thought that came over that, and the reason why I didn't, is because I think at this point, Pandemic Paul would never allow Gene to open it up with a track that's newer. Fuck that, you're opening up. Deuce, I'll let you get away with it because it was early. We used to open up.
Maybe.
That's the only reason I'm saying. But I can certainly see Unholy. Yep. It fits, and it would be a nice way to get them going.
Yep.
So, all right. So, Rise to It starts my show. Then we get into this. All starts off again. Song 2, Master and Slave.
Wow.
Get a little carnival going and get the song out of the way. Right off the 7. It's a kind of a big song. I think it gets the crowd going, especially when it hits the chorus. And I think it continues Rise to It, and the crowd's still going with Master and Slave. I don't want to slow it down yet. Paul always keeps those first 2 songs going, Master of Ceremonies, and he finishes it with that. So I would go to Master and Slave next.
What do you mean, get it out of the way? The fucking song is awesome. Oh, awesome.
I got to get Carnival of Soul on my album. Otherwise, this would be the Revenge in full concert with some hot shade.
Okay. All right. So number 2 for me, already our first duplicate. Number 2 for me is Rise to It. Because I wanted to start off, Kiss, we always talk about this, Kiss likes to start off the show with 2 or 3 songs, get everybody really amped up, and then maybe switch gears. So I went Rise to It, number 2. So Unholy, Rise to It for the 1-2 punch.
All right. Then Master Slave finishes. The Master of Ceremonies takes over, and that's Paul. And you know what he's going to say? He's going to go, how you doing, people? People? Meet Gene Simmons. And then he fucking cranks, and you start hearing some noise and some rumbling. And this is what comes. Opening track from Carnival of Souls, Hate.
Ooh, you're doing back-to-back Carnival. Oh.
I think that's a nice, heavy song to get Gene his first song on the track. You're fucking going, wow. If this comes on next, I think you're still engaged. You're like, wow, this is pretty heavy.
Nice.
Some good, hard, heavy music by them. So, yeah.
Okay.
I go right to Hate is number 3.
All right. So number 3 for me, like you said, after Rise to It, Paul grabs the mic, gets everybody excited. How you doing, people? Whatever. And then all of a sudden he takes his mic and he's talking to people. He's getting everybody fired up. And then it goes right from that into this. Built for sin and an appetite for passion, keeping the party train going with song 3, I Just Wanna. Nice. So we get the party going with Unholy, Rise to It, and I Just Wanna.
Nice.
Yep.
Love that track. Fucking love it. All right.
So good.
For me, it just finished Hate. Paul starts talking again, put some of his Paul stuff. The last time people we were in Worcester, Massachusetts. They banned us in Boston, people.
God.
And it left me with this. Off of Revenge, Heart of Chrome.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Excellent song. Nice. All right. So number 4 for me, we just finished with I Just Wanna. We end that. We go right into this, giving the microphone back to Gene. Here we go. Off of Hot in the Shade, we go to Betrayed, which I actually think would be good live. I'm not a huge fan of this song, but I just think live it might have a little bit of energy behind it. Not my favorite song, but I think given Gene the microphone, I think this song might have a little bit of life, a little extra life to it live. Not a fan.
Fucking little life. It's on life support. You put that on the middle of a concert.
No, that's an upbeat. That's an upbeat song.
Oh,
that's a rocker.
Hey, I'm gonna take a piss, but you just went. You don't need to. I don't care. I'm just gonna
Betrayed's playing. I'm out of here. I like it. I like the chorus. I like the chorus.
That song set list is looking a little rough.
Oh man, come on.
All right, number 5 for me. Heart of Chrome finishes. It's the KISS version, not the quarantine version, which would be pretty nice too, right? And before you know it, this comes on. That's Mr. Eric Carr singing Little Caesar. Let him have a crack at something live. Imagine having an Eric track singing Little Caesar live. Oh, I would fucking love it. A little extended drum solo in the middle of this. So Little Caesar with the little drum solo is song number 5 for me, sung by Eric Carr.
All right, great call. So it looks like with your live album, it'll be like kind of a compilation live album. So you're gonna have some concert stuff from the Eric Carr lineup as well, which is fine. We've seen live albums do that before, but yeah, Little Caesar's great, and Eric Carr's got a great voice. So
I want to get him on. And it's a shame that he's not on any real live KISS albums.
I agree.
By the band. And I think him doing that in a little drum solo in the middle will be a nice little tip of the hat to him.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. All right, so number 5 for me, we just finished number 4, Betrayed. We're going to kind of go into a little bit of a groove here with this one. The first one off of Carnival of Souls for me, and that's Jungle with Paul singing. Yes. I love every time I mention these songs, Zeus just makes you get that resting fart face, the Paul face. Ooh, love that song. Jungle.
Oh,
come on,
man. What is KISS becoming, Fish? It's like a fucking jam band now.
No,
I love KISS can't do that shit.
That's a great song. Save it for the Carnival review. So that's my number 5. Go ahead.
Number 6. Little Caesar finishes over to Mr. Gene Simmons from KISS. That is Domino.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Domino. Obviously a favorite. You got the video, you got the unplugged, the single. I also have it at the end of Domino. Gene does a fire thing. I don't know. Fucking what else is he going to do it in? So for some reason, right after the end, he pulls out the fire and blows, breathes fire out after Domino. So that's my number 6.
Okay, nice. All right, great song. You had Domino. That's a great song. Great placement of that in the set list there. So we're gonna go to my number 6, which is a duplicate of yours. We're gonna stick with the back-to-back Carnival, kind of like you did at the beginning, and that's Master and Slave. Yeah.
Yep.
Love it.
Wow. So you've got 2. You're like spreading it out. You've got 2, 2, and 2. I've noticed.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Number 7 for me. We're going to slow it down, Tom. Ooh. And go to this. People are swaying back and forth because they're listening to Every Time I Look at You.
Oh,
beautiful. I think it'll be a great little segment in the middle of the concert. I like the song. You have to fit it in there. So I put it number 7. Every Time I Look at You. Paul
Excellent.
doing a good job on that. So
nice. Beautiful.
That's my number 7.
Okay, beautiful. My number 7, we're going to kick it up a notch, give the microphone back to Gene with one of my favorites. Off of Revenge, Thou Shalt Not. Mix it up a little bit there with some a little hard rock in there after we slowed it down with some of the jungle and Carnival of Souls stuff. So back to Gene with Thou Shalt Not. Love that song. Tremendously underrated.
Yep. I know you're a big fan of that song, so
yep.
I can totally see you putting it in there. For me, number 8. We're getting towards the back end here. Number 8 is Unholy. My first duplicate with Tom.
Wow.
I think after Little Caesar, Domino, and Every Time I Look at You slows things down a little bit, I want to kick it up. I think if I throw after Every Time I Look at You, and all of a sudden you hear the riff of beginning of Unholy, people are going to go, oh, fuck, I can't believe this is right here in the set list. People are going to be like, holy shit. I think I'm trying to grab their attention. And then obviously Unholy is Gene doing blood. If he's doing blood.
Okay.
If he is, I don't even know. I mean, this is non-makeup, so I doubt he'd be spitting blood. But if he was, or any demon-like thing, he would do it here. If he goes up to on top or anything like that, there's, fucking lightning on the stage, presentation in the background. This is when he would do Gene and demon shit. Unholy, song number 8 for me, duplicate.
Nice. Okay. Number 8 for me. No one has this one yet. We're going to give the microphone back to Paul. So here we go. One of our all-time favorites off of Hot in the Shade, Silver Spoon. Throw that right in the middle of the set list there. Should have been a hit. Maybe might be one of the best songs, or it is one of the best songs on that entire album. So Paul taking Silver Spoon at number 8.
Is Nell Carter and is like church-going choir going to be there?
They bring her out from the back and she's in there jamming along. I wasn't born. You got nothing, boo. I can't even think of the words right now, but
is this before
I wasn't born.
Is this before she got diabetes?
Oh. Give me a break. I sure deserve it.
They wheel her out. Fucking like the blueberry on Willy Wonka. What's that fucking?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What was the blueberry thing? They were tumbling around.
I can't even remember. That movie scared me.
All right. So Nell Carter singing Silver Spoon with Paul.
Yep.
All right. Song number 9 for me. I'm going to throw everything off. Hit it.
We got a little surprise for you tonight. We're going to turn the microphone over to
Bruce Kulick. I Walk Alone.
Wow. Giving the microphone. We got a little surprise for you tonight.
Yes, that clip was added in. Bruce. I have to go with Bruce, and he's going to do an extended little solo. The guy's earned a spot to have something on a live album. Let him do it. I don't care if the track isn't as strong as other tracks. I like the song. Might not be a fucking live kind of tune. It doesn't really fit, but I want to hear Bruce sing live. I think it would be a great addition. So I put number 9, Bruce Kulick.
Nice. Excellent. All right. So number 9 for me, This is a duplicate. This will be the part of the show where Gene does some kind of demon oriented thing, whether it's, probably won't do blood, but some kind of fire thing, bass solo, whatever. And it's going to go into Hate from Carnival of Souls, number 9.
Yeah, that's got to get in the set list.
Yep.
So Hate is in your set list. Song number 10 for me, Tom. We haven't put it in here yet, but, we got to get the crowd going. The gold standard of Paul sex lyrics. Take It Off.
Yes.
Oh, the live rendition of this is so good. I have the I think it's the Kiss Alive version with this on it too as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it's not on. Yeah, because it's not on the standard version.
No, and it's fucking awesome. It's the same one from Confidential. It is so good. They do a great job on it. I want to hear Paul and all of his cheesy, most outrageous Paul Stanley 80s stage banter talking about Take It Off. I think that'll be worth its weight in gold. I can't say enough about it. So my number 10 is Paul singing Take It Off.
You know what's funny when you think about this song? You wonder what Paul thinks of it today.
I think he'd be embarrassed.
Exactly, because he's just like, he's so proper and so trying to, looking for that respect. And that was an embarrassing time in my life when I wrote that song, and we had strippers coming up on stage and tossing their panties in the air, and they were waving them like they don't care. It's just wrong.
Yeah, and didn't he was like in the video, he was like saying, look, one of them had a fat ass too. He was like, oh, look at these chicks.
You've mentioned this before. You've mentioned this before. Go back and watch Kiss Confidential. Not a good representation of Paul. I mean, I know it was 92, 93, but yikes.
Misogynistic to say the least. He'd definitely be embarrassed about that now, knowing how it is.
It was funny. Speaking of Paul, so we're recording on Thursday. We usually record on Wednesdays, but Thursday for the coming soon teaser, I posted a picture of the band, the Revenge era band, and Paul had a shirt on that said "fuck."
Yeah,
and everyone was like, "Can you imagine if Paul saw that picture today? Like how embarrassed he would be by it?" And be like, "Yeah, but
beneath him."
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Number 10 to you, Tom.
Number 10 to me. Back to Paul. So we just had the demon with Hate and blood spitting, fire breathing, whatever. We're going to bring it back to Paul and kick it up a notch with one of our favorites. Off of Hot in the Shade, You Love Me to Hate You. Ooh, yeah. Got to throw that in there. That's one of our all-time favorites. We had that ranked number 1 on our Hot in the Shade review, and then our buddy Baco fucking buried it on his Kiss list. Oh, brutal.
I mean, this has to be done in a time where Paul can hit this note.
Exactly.
Those notes. It's got to be around this era because,
he ain't doing
there's
it any
certain
other time.
songs, it just won't work back then. It's funny you say You Love Me to Hate You because that's my next song. So that's a duplicate. That's number 11 for me.
Okay.
Right after Take It Off, You Love Me to Hate You.
Okay.
I think the song would work awesome live. I'd love to get it on a live album. It's such a deep cut, and I would love to see that pop up there. So that's my number 11. Over to you.
All right, so duplicate for me. We got them flip-flopped. You had Take It Off and You Love Me to Hate You. I have You Love Me to Hate You and Take It Off at number 11. So same thing there with, are we bringing the girls up there on stage like we did in Confidential, or is this of course,
during this era? Yep.
Of course,
so
have to.
It's funny you say that. So for number 12, duplicate for me, and I'm ending with my thank you, good night, with I Just Wanna.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah,
right, good.
So
good placement.
My trifecta at the end. Oh, imagine if we fucking got a copy of this CD. Take It Off, You Love Me to Hate You, and I Just Wanna.
Oh,
how
that's
fucking
awesome.
great would that be? I would fucking love it if we got those 3 in a row. So after I Just Wanna, that's the end of the set list for me. Thank you, good night. They walk off the stage to get blowjobs underneath the fucking concert hall. So
there you go. All right.
Yeah.
So my number 12, this will be the end of it for me. I'm not a fan of this song. I don't think any of us are. But it was a hit for them. They always play it live. So going off into the sunset before they come back on stage is God Gave Rock and Roll to You.
Got to play it. Just got to find a place where you put it.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I wasn't going to end the show with it because you can't end a show with it, but I figured I'd end it going into the true encore. Now they play it over the PA system when the show ends. Thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you can leave the building while it's being played now. Instead of
they're not
to sit there.
wasting a song on it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yep.
So, of course, they go off. They get their second blowjobs. They come back. Sometimes they're to each other. Sometimes they're with the female fans. Who knows?
Oh,
but
God.
They come back. The lights are out. And this plays. Is that the lights go off, they come back out, and the first strumming of that acoustic for the lyrics to Forever. Oh, they could be so nasty. And hearing Bruce play the solo live,
so
it'd be fucking fantastic.
Yep.
Forever is the first of my encores at number 13.
Okay. My number 13, the first of my encores, they come out on stage. It's a duplicate for you. So I'll get to it, but they come out on stage and you just hear that little intro, that little picking, and then you kick into Domino.
Okay.
That's the first one of the encore right there.
They call her Domino.
Domino. Love that song. That video is ridiculous. Oh, I love it.
Gene going around and Jack in the Box, drinking a fucking shake. Trying
like he's fucking out combing. Yeah, he's out combing the high schools all day
to get dates for fucking the big thing for UN. You know, he's boogers with Gene riding in the Cadillac, trying to comb the high schools. When I saw this girl coming out of school that day, I knew she had to make it to the Lambda party.
Not the Moos. They're a bunch of pigs.
Anyway, well, no one picked the next song. My second encore is this. The song they still play today, and that is Hide Your Heart. Got to put it in.
Nice.
So that's my song number 14, Hide Your Heart. It's not the biggest. I don't think it plays well that live compared to all the other great songs they do, but it made it to my set list. So Hide Your Heart, number 14.
Okay. So a couple duplicates coming up here. So for me, we the encore, they come back on stage, they do Domino, then the lights go down, and then they kick into Forever.
Makes sense.
That's the middle one of my trifecta encore there. So what do you close your show with?
Well, I close my set list and show with everything that you said, and we've already talked about it, but this time it's not over the PA. It's just God Gave Rock and Roll to You. And it's their way of just fucking, at the time trying to come up with their anthem for that era. Yep. God Gave Rock and Roll to You, and they finish at that, them trading off lyrics. It's the only way that kind of makes sense to me to put that there. I mean, think about it this way. It's always towards the end of the concert you would think God gave. Imagine if God Gave Rock and Roll to You opened a set list.
Dude, that's
how awkward that would be.
Well, that's like the one time I saw Pearl Jam. I saw Pearl Jam at the Boston Garden. Okay.
Yeah.
They opened up with Release off of 10. They opened up with that, and everybody was like, dude,
thank you, good night.
Exactly. It's like, how the fuck do you open a show with this? With
the biggest selling album you've ever done, the closing track that everybody fucking knows.
Right. It was so bizarre because you hear that little strumming, everyone's like, wait, are they really opening with Release? It was so weird.
That's going to go into Once, but it goes into Release.
It went into Release, and everyone's like, okay, this is fucking really awkward now. Everybody's amped up, and you're opening up with like the most painfully slow ballad you've ever written.
Yeah, it's Nirvana doing Open Up. It's Nirvana. Something in the way.
Pretty much, yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of out there.
So my closer, it's a duplicate here. I'll be honest with you, this was really, I couldn't really nail down a show closer here. I went with this one because it's it was a massive hit for them. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how well it translates to a closer, but I went with it because it was a hit, and that's Hide Your Heart.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a really hard time finding a really good, because I didn't want to close with God Gave Rock and Roll to You, because that's kind of ends with a little bit of a dud. But Hide Your Heart, I'm like, it's a big hit, but because in this era, unlike some of the other eras, there was really no like anthemic closer, I think, off these three albums. You know what I mean?
That's the only reason I put God Gave Rock and Roll as the real final owner. Okay. And then I put I Just Want Her, like a fucking pump you up, and then thank you, good night. And then people are like, no way, that's the end.
Right.
That's how I figured it.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Okay.
This was the toughest.
It really was.
I had to make. I put two songs that I probably wouldn't put in the set list if I didn't have to, and that is Little Caesar and I Walk Alone, because I wanted my CD album to have things that they don't have in other ones, whereas 4 members singing. I thought that would be fantastic.
Yeah, no, I got you.
So I had to put those in. And because I put those two in, I cut stuff that I never wanted to cut. So my honorable mentions, Silver Spoon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put Slash, In My Head or I Confess. One of those Gene tracks I would have loved to heard. I don't know how they would translate to live, but I like those songs. I'd want to hear one of those. And then I also have Gene and Paul's, the bigger the cushion, the better the pushing.
Oh, yeah.
Spit. I had Spit as my third honorable mention. What about you? What about
my honorable mentions? You had this in your set list. That was Heart of Chrome.
Yeah.
And then another one of our favorites off of Hot in the Shade was King of Hearts.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
Yep. And then another one that you had in your set list was the Bruce song I Walk Alone.
Yeah, to just add some flavor. Bruce deserves some. So does Eric Carr. That's how I looked at it. And I could kill two birds with having them do that, and they could have them do their solos in those versions of those songs.
Yep. No, it's true. I Walk Alone. It's not a bad song. It's really not. I mean, I know people, people shit on Carnival of Souls in general, but I Walk Alone, it's not a bad song at all. So
no, I like it.
Yeah.
So I look at it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 duplicates, Tom.
Yeah, that's. I mean, because there were a lot of hits in this era. I mean, between Hot in the Shade and Revenge, there were a lot of hits.
Yeah. So if you really consider these things, Tom, you've got to put at least Forever and Rise to It and Hide Your Heart have to be in there, no matter what, because they're singles and videos, right?
Yep.
So then when you go to Revenge, obviously Unholy gets in there. Every Time I Look at You gets in there. Domino right off the top. But then
I Just Wanna
is gotta be in there. I Just Want is another automatic.
Yep.
Take It Off is huge. And that was on technically an Alive 3 and Kiss Confidential. But then you also have like a song like Heart of Chrome, so good that Jericho and those guys at Quarantine did a copy of a version of that. You got, some other deep cuts on that. You like Thou Shall Not. I thought Spit should have been in there. So you have so many different options. Then when you get into, you got to have at least, it's 3 albums. Every album's got to have 3 songs, I would think. Mm-hmm. So you got to put 3 from
Carnival.
And because Carnival really had no singles, that's all over the map. You can go with what you like. There's no fucking Heaven's on Fire in the middle of Carnival to be like, oh, that's the single.
Nope.
And then everything else off Animalize, anybody can have as their favorite.
The closest thing in terms of a quote unquote hit was songs that we picked, which was Jungle and Master and Slave. Those are like the most like
Hate is the other big one.
Hate, Hate.
And then you also have that. Shit. After all those years, Bruce has a song on there. Maybe you want to throw that one in there.
Right.
So if you add all that stuff in there, it adds up, buddy. It adds up a lot. And you gotta think that, okay, so if I put all those, where is the room to breathe to like throw out a deep cut? You don't have much. So I was at 18, 19 songs, and I'm like, how the fuck? I was like, can't we do 16 or 17? They're like, no, we've been doing 15. This was hard, man. This was really hard.
I wish looking at this, I wish that they did this with Alive 3, because I mean the good thing about Alive, the real Alive 3 that came out with this lineup, you know, they had a lot of these songs on there, but then they obviously duplicated, you know, Deuce and, you know, Rock and Roll All Night in Detroit Rock City and, you know, Watching You and stuff like that, which was great. I absolutely love Alive 3, but it would have been nice if they stuck with that of just all stuff that hadn't appeared on previous live albums. I would have liked that because I love that lineup.
I think they were trying to get the new KISS fans, the new hair metal fans, to be like, hey, you can have an album with Rock and Roll All Night on it too again. Well, since we're going to put Rock and Roll All Night on it, why don't we throw a couple duplicates in there? And that's what ended up happening. But for me, I think both of these albums are fine. You know, I think you cringed a little when I put Little Caesar.
No, not really.
I Walk Alone. But, you know, I'm just not a fan of Betrayed or Jungle. And other than that, your album is my album. I like it.
Yeah, true.
You know,
it's true.
Am I gonna fucking cry because Betrayed and Jungle are on there? No, but I would have other preferences. But there, you know, 11 of the 15 tracks are duplicates.
I put Betrayed in there because I wanted Gene to have another song, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to give him fucking Boomerang or Prisoner of Love, or
you know, put another Carnival song. Love's a Slap in the Face. I know you never would put Cadillac Dreams.
No,
you know,
the reason
but those are live tracks. Those are like fucking good, like, you know, mid-tempo songs. Street Giveth, or the other one there, Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell.
That's why I thought Betrayed. It's not. I'm not a huge fan. I thought maybe it would translate live because it is upbeat. It's just like, you know, with the banging on that drum and it's like that chorus. You know, it's okay, but it was tough because I didn't want to throw in another revenge song, and I was struggling to find something that would have stuck out on Carnival of Souls. I mean, I did have I Confess kind of hanging around there as an option, but
all right.
So no, this was tough.
So what we didn't pick: Prisoner of Love.
Yep.
Read My Body.
Oh God!
Did you imagine if we put Read My Body on this? Love's a Slap in the Face. Cadillac Dreams. King of Hearts was in your mentions. The Street Giveth, the Street Taketh Away. Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell. And of course, Boomerang.
Oh.
Yeah, not very good songs there. Some of them are not very good. So let's get into Revenge. On Revenge, we didn't take Tough Love. Spit was an honorable mention. Paralyzed and Car Jam.
Paralyzed is
so
a good song.
4 or 3? That's 3 songs we didn't take.
You know why Paralyzed could have fit?
I love Paralyzed.
Because that could have been Bruce's solo. That song starts with a solo pretty much.
Yeah. So if you look at that, 3 of the 12 songs are not on this.
Yep.
That's amazing. 9 songs made it somewhere on our list. Mm-hmm. That's how good that fucking album is. And the other thing, you know what it just got to me, just realized? Did you realize, you know, KISS did Carnival, then they did Circus.
Yeah.
What's with the fucking clown shit?
I know.
Right?
Settle down.
It occurred to me Carnival of Souls, Psycho Circus. Okay.
Okay, they're Ringling Brothers.
Are they trying to get like a fucking like a sponsorship or something? What the fuck? So on Carnival of Souls, we didn't take Rain. Childhood's End would never fit. I like the song, but it just wouldn't fit.
No.
Paul's love ballad there, I Will Be There. In My Head, no, I had that listed as an honorable mention. It Never Goes Away. Seduction of the Innocent. Dude, is that one of his wife's fucking Skinamax movies that Murph taped in the late 80s, early 90s?
What is that, where she lets her backbone slip?
Now fucking she break her hip.
My hip. I've fallen and I can't get up, Gene.
Let your backbone slip, Sharon.
Sharon? You're getting confused. It's Shannon. Sharon!
Oh, Gene, get your fucking hands off me! Sharon.
Sharon!
He wouldn't know what to do if fucking hot Shannon Tweed came into his eye. Oh, the fuck is this fucking twat? Ozzy wouldn't know fucking know. Anyway, In the Mirror is the only other one.
I like it.
Yeah, so those didn't make it onto any of our albums, but love this concept. We will post this up. I'll try to set up the brackets so you guys can look, and when we do our poll, you can see which album you guys would like. Basically, it's like the 4 or 5 different songs that me and Tom picked. Which ones you like more, really? Love doing these things.
And then you can brace yourself for a Alive 8. Oh God!
Alive 8 will be coming soon with Psycho Circus, Sonic Boom, and Monster.
Oh, yay. Oh. That's going to be a 5-song EP.
This one's called Hello Hallelujah. And this one's called Modern Day Delilah. Thank you, good night.
All right, Love Gun.
We're doing Kiss Alive 8. All right, Love Gun.
We got nothing else to play for you guys. We're gonna go back to the classics. Oh shit!
One of my favorite things. Paul Stanley, Pawl, tweet fucking. What was it again?
He goes, "Oh yeah, I told people if they bought tickets to the Kiss cruise, they'd hit deep cuts." All right, Love
Gun. Oh man. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this list. Thank you guys for listening. And Tom, when we finish this, did you have any other comments before I move on? I'm sorry.
No, not at all. No, share your thoughts on our lists and make your own. See, maybe you're maybe way off and you got a whole different perspective on these 3 albums.
Excellent, yep. Tom. I forgot to mention that. We love when you guys post your Kiss Alive, real Kiss Alive album of 15 songs from that era. And you guys will get the privilege of watching my fucking head explode when someone goes, God of Thunder, fucking Rock and Roll All Night, and fucking Deuce. Like, goddamn motherfucker. It'll be like, they'll do like half of it. They'll be like, I'll put Rise to it. I'd put Unholy. I'd put fucking Love Gun, and then maybe Shandy. Like, what motherfucker?
Well, because what happens is you got people, A, that don't pay attention, and B, you got people that don't listen to the show. They see the social media post and they're like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna put my fucking greatest hits on here. And then we yell at them. And then we yell at them on Twitter.
And then my fucking blood pressure goes through the roof because you fuckers constantly do this shit, and it drives me nuts. But that's why we love you. So,
exactly.
Moving on. Question of the week.
Question of the week from our friend Wesley Beach. From the Plasmatics, who knows Kiss very well and has toured with them, so he's got a good question here. He says, "Do you think the Creatures lineup was the heaviest and most proficient version of the band? Vinny arguably was the best songwriter other than Paul and Gene, and brought a heavier sound to the band. I watched all 32 shows we did with them on the Creatures tour." And on the good nights, I don't think there was a heavier band out there. Ooh, that's a good one. In terms of, and you go first, Zeus. Go ahead.
Heavy?
Yeah,
that's definitely the heaviest. I would probably say that would be it's almost a different band. Original Kiss is its own classic rock based on some original bands like Led Zeppelin, The Who, and they have that basis and background. 82 Kiss, if you're talking with Vinny and Eric Carnett, that as a band could play with anybody, against anybody. But that's not the classic sound. It's a different sound. It's still good, if not great. I would say I can't see them being heavier. Eric Singer is not going to be heavier than Eric Carr, and obviously Peter is not. Who can play that fucking crunch loud guitar? More so than Vinny? I don't think anybody could do it, probably. And absolutely, without a fucking doubt, Vinny's the best songwriter outside of Paul and Gene. Not even close. Yeah. And he would have added that element. So he makes that band fantastic, having three very good songwriters and I'm using that loosely. Three songwriters that I enjoy. I shouldn't say very good, because the definition of Gene Simmons as a songwriter, you can throw some of his crazy lyrics. I like Gene Simmons as a songwriter, and same with Paul Stanley. But I would guess that that is the heaviest and probably musicianship wise, the best version KISS has ever had. I would even say, Vinny's, in my opinion, Vinny's a probably better songwriter than Ace, but he never wrote Parasite and Cold Gin and all the shit that Ace did.
Yeah, if you look at them during this lineup, if you look at that 10th anniversary tour when Eric Carr had the Tank, and they were like a borderline metal band. Like when KISS did Revenge with Bruce and Eric Singer, they were like a hard rock band. Kind of like how Metallica became like hard rock with the Black Album. This KISS right here in this era, they were borderline metal. The way that they performed live and some of the songwriting and, like you said, Vinny's guitar and Eric's drumming, they were like literally like almost metal. And you never saw that before or after. And you go back and look at some of that stuff from that 10th anniversary tour, that tank tour, I like to call it. Fucking off the rails. They were just insane together. Gene looked like a fucking animal, and Eric was just amazing. And Vinny, it was a great lineup. And Wesley, good for you, man, for being part of that tour with the Plasmatics at that time and being able to see them. And we appreciate you chiming in with a question like that. It's great. And we'd love to hear more from you about that tour. So who knows? Yeah.
And so thank you again for the question. And then we usually go, Tom, where can people find us?
Yeah, so, we have our email address, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Email us questions, comments, what you like, what you don't like, maybe show ideas, etc. We'll respond to them, read them on the air. So please do that. That's shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Best place to communicate with us. We're on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Twitter is our most interactive. We've mentioned before, it's like instantaneous interaction a lot of the times. So that's the best place for us. We're part of the great Pantheon podcast network, and our show can be heard pretty much everywhere. We're on all the big platforms, Apple, Spotify, etc. Zeus has mentioned recently, we're also part of Amazon Music, their podcast platform, which has a great interface as well. So check us out there. And also our buddy Ed from Click Tea Shop, Click with a K. He's the one who designed our awesome show logo, and he carries awesome Shout It Out Loudcast merchandise, as well as great KISS-inspired merchandise. Follow him on social media. He's working on some new designs. He's been posting some really awesome designs on his Twitter and Facebook. That's Click Tea Shop, Click with a K.
Yeah. So again, I always like to add in, feel free to send us direct messages on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We do get back to you. We like to think that we're probably the most interactive podcast you'll find out there on social media. We get, we have fortunately opportunities to communicate with our listeners, and we love the feedback. We love the back and forth that comes with it. One of the things I'd like to kind of push on you guys a little bit, and that is this week, if you guys get a chance, help the podcast out a little bit. And that is, if you could go on to iTunes, give us one of those 5-star child reviews. Doesn't take much time. Put a 5 stars in there. If you don't want to comment, don't comment. But if you can, tell us why you're going to give us the 5 stars. Say because Zeus begged us for it. I don't care.
Exactly.
Tell us what you like about us. So we get these wonderful emails from all you guys, and we love them. And we go back and forth. Some of them are very heartwarming. Some of them are fantastic. Some of them crack us up. Some of them, you guys share stories. A lot of them are really personal, and we can connect with you guys. They're awesome. If you can, put that on a 5-star review, why you like that. You tell us that. If you can tell others, it's great. It's really helpful to us. It moves us up the food chain. And then when we have a couple of the surprises that will be coming soon to you guys, real soon, you'll wonder why. And that is because we move up the food chain with that stuff. Right now, we're at a place where we are much more, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Much more popular than when we ever imagined.
Yep. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. When we started this, we thought we would have a few hundred followers and a few hundred listeners. We're way beyond that. Sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. Someone, we laughed about it. Somebody, the I Love It Louder guy, sent to us, oh yeah, if you guys could do more, I'd sponsor. I'm like, and I joke like, buddy, you can't afford my hourly rate as an attorney for me to put the work in. But what ends up happening is we do this because this is fun. Mm-hmm. And because it's fun, we want to do this, but we want to do it right. So every episode, me and Tom are already prepared. We have ideas for a few weeks out. We have our guests kind of that we're talking to. We prepare this in advance. We try to figure out ideas. You got a song lyric? Yes, I do. Here's this. Okay, I'm picking from this. We have a spreadsheet that knows which songs we've each picked. We have a guest list that people that we want to get. We have a list of when we did our last Real Kiss Alive, when we're going to put it on the timesheet for you guys. We go through this stuff because we can't, even when we do album reviews, concert reviews, we look at the stuff, we review it several times over because this stuff is, lasts forever, or at least until we delete it. We don't want to do a half-ass job for you people. We don't. We put the time and the work and the effort in, not just to, obviously to please you guys, but because we want to stand by our product and what we're putting out there and what we're talking about. We do it with our own ridiculous sense of humor, but we also want to know that we know a little bit about what we're talking about. And that requires some work. And we're doing it, and it's fun. But, it does take a little bit of a toll on time and stuff and family commitments and things like that. However, we think it's worth it because we still want to give you the best product we can. And I still would say, we've had some growing pains along the way, Tom. There were times where our microphones sucked. There were times the music we put in wasn't as good. There are times we didn't have any clips. There are times we've had too many clips. We're finding the medium, and we're happy to improve, to, change things and get to the point where we want. But I hate to fucking pat myself on the back here, buddy, but I'm sorry. I will put our podcast, KISS Podcast, up there against anyone's and say we're just as entertaining as anybody. We're not the fucking, encyclopedia podcast like some. And we're not just the ridiculously only just jokes either. I think we're the happy medium, but I would put us up against anybody and feel confident in saying that. And I would also put us up there probably right now in popularity. Now, we're not the top, but we're getting there, my friends. And it's thanks to you. And, you guys are helping us get to that spot. And I want to thank you. And I went on this fucking 10-minute diatribe, so I apologize. Tom, I'll hand it over to you.
No, you're right. And it all comes down to, we want to make a product that we're proud of too, but we also understand that your time is valuable. And if you're going to take the time out of your day, whether it's at home or your commute to work, or if you're going for a jog or whatever you're doing, we want you to spend your time and be entertained. And because I listen to a ton of podcasts, I subscribe to a ton of podcasts, and very few make the cut because I listen to them and be like, these things just aren't well produced. The hosts don't know what they're talking about. They're stuttering over themselves. They don't have a handle of what you could tell they didn't prepare. There's they've wasted my time. And we don't want to waste your time, and we don't want to waste our time. So, Zeus and I are the kind of people where we have a work ethic that, we like to think comes through on the show. Forgive us for kind of patting ourselves on the back a little bit, but we're doing this under the guise of thanking you for being a part of this. because it makes us feel good that our product is entertaining you guys in keeping the show going and growing.
Yeah, you challenge us. Your commitment, your comments, your interaction with us. We can't put on a half-ass show. You guys tell us how great we've been doing, or what you guys like, or what you don't like. How the hell can we half-ass a show to you? I've got a feeling you would tell us if that was like, that fucking sucked. Oh, that's awful. Or that guest stunk. Or you guys didn't do, what the hell are you doing this week? You guys would tell us. So, we're going to try to continue on that trend. And I'm one of the things that helps along the way. And I've learned this in running my own business now for 19, 20 years. I'm almost on 20 years, that you're not going to get something unless you ask for something. Mm-hmm. And so we're asking you, if you could, when you get a chance, go on to iTunes, give us a 5-star review, go on to Stitcher, go on to Amazon Music, go on to Spotify, go on to podchaser.com. Give us those 5-star reviews. It helps. We appreciate it. And then feel free to pat yourself on the back and say, hey, I just gave you a review, and let us know. Yep. We'll certainly give the shout out. We'll certainly, appreciate it. And thank you. So other than that, let's move back and to continue the show. Oh, guess what? We're at the end. So Tom, famous last words.
Famous last words. In a city where the buildings rise, I was just another face. But Mama told me when somebody dies, no one else can take your place. Oh! Resting fart, who smelled it face.
Every time I see a sign, tell me, what's the bottom line? Tell me. Yes. I just want a place to rest my resting farting face, count to 4 and catch my breath. 1, 2, 3, 4.
How can you not love Carnival of Souls? What's the matter with you?
All right. Tom, thank you. Kiss Army, thank you. We love you, brothers.
Zeus, thank you. Guys, thank you. And thanks for listening to us give a little bit of a rant and a plead for you guys. And thank you, as always, for being a part of the show. Without you, there is no show. Thank you. Cha-cha-cha.
Sure it is. Peace out, Girl Scout.